I'm Dr. Jonette, and I'm holding up our project for today. This is a holiday, I call it a nature-inspired holiday wreath. I went out earlier and collected a bunch of greenery and dried some oranges, found some cinnamon sticks, some pine cones, and I'm gonna show you how to create this lovely wreath. And you don't have to use these decorations. You can use whatever you may have in your yard or in your gardens. So let's get creating and make ourselves a lovely nature-inspired holiday wreath. So I've collected a bunch of branches from outdoors, from different bushes and trees that I have. I have here some hemlock. You can see the hemlock has little pine cones on it, which I really loved. I've got this is a blue from a blue spruce, and this is another evergreen bush. I think it's called a bird's nest bush. I've got, I'm not sure what this one is, but I really liked it. And this one I love also. It's got a little bit of blue, kind of almost fuzziness to it. So all of these together will make a great wreath. To start making the wreath, I go ahead and I will choose a couple of branches from each different type, and I will create kind of like a cluster, like maybe one branch from each type. And I choose the order of the branches that I choose will be a little different for each cluster. And then I will take and I will wire that cluster together. And once I have all the clusters wired, I go ahead and I then create the wreath with the wired clusters. It makes it much easier to work with wired clusters than it does to wire each piece individually. So there you can see there's a wired cluster there, and I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and then I'll show you how to put them into the wreath. So I've gone ahead and made all of my wired bundles, is what I call them. They're basically what you saw me do before. You take one of each of the different types of foliage that you have, or branches, evergreen foliage that you have, and you wire it together into little bundles like you see here. And you can kind of mix up the order of the foliage that you use, but the bottom line is you end up creating enough bundles that you can cover the wreath base that you have. The other thing I wanted to show you real quick here before we get started is I have here a number of oranges that I've dried. If you want to know how to dry the oranges, just go to my website at growwithdrjonette.com. Type in how to dry oranges, and there you go. There's a blog there that shows you how to dry oranges. Super simple. Basically, you just cut the oranges super thin, and I dry them in my food dehydrator. It takes about 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. So very simple. I glue the oranges together that I use on this particular holiday wreath, and just hot glue them. Take a little hot glue, put it in the middle of it, stack next one on top, put a little more hot glue. I gotta get some more hot glue, but I think we got enough for what we need. And I'm gonna stack that one on there and just press them all together. Just gonna press them down onto the surface, because sometimes some of the hot glue like squishes through and you don't want to burn your fingers. So, and there you've got them. They're all like glued together. They stick together, and they're ready to put on our wreath. In addition to the oranges, dried oranges, you've probably noticed I love to use natural things. Most of what I have here does come from my yard. All of the greenery does, and the cinnamon sticks don't. But the pine cones come from one of the bushes or one of the trees out in my yard. And I did purchase these little berries. I thought they'd add a nice little pop of color to the wreath. And let's see what else. I've got wire here. This is just a green florist wire that I use, and you want a nice sturdy scissor so that I use the scissors to cut the wire. You could use a little wire cutter if you wanted. That would work just as well. And so let's go ahead and, a little bit about the base. So the base for this wreath is a recycled wreath. I had this old wreath that was fake, and it was pretty tired and probably ready to be thrown out. But I was like, oh, it would make a great base for a natural wreath. So I went ahead and trimmed it up, and you can see here it's a wire, just a two wires wire frame. But it makes a great base for this wreath because it's nice and green and full already at the base. So if your wire bundles don't completely cover your base, you'll never see it because the greenery underneath will hide any area that might have otherwise been showing. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get these all out of the way, and I'll show you how to wire one of these bundles. Basically what I've done, you're going to do is you're going to just take them and wire them around the wreath so that they overlap, so that you want to hide the stems here with the tops of the next bundle. So basically just like that, and you're going to go around the wreath, and when you're all done, you'll have a lovely nice full wreath to decorate. So let's go ahead and wire this first bundle in. I like a nice fairly long piece of wire because we want to take the ends and twist the ends together. So I'm just go around several times, and let me grab that end so that I have it, and tighten the wire pretty tight so that your bundle doesn't come loose. And that looks pretty good. So we're going to just twist. You don't need to worry about cutting off the ends. I usually just wrap them down around and kind of tuck them in. And then the next bundle is going to go on top of it. This looks like a good one, and we kind of just space them about like that. You can see I've covered up the stem there with the next bundle, and get another piece of wire. You can buy that wire at just about any hobby shop. And we're going to get that one nice and tight around it. When you go around, you could even twist it, give it a little twist to make sure it doesn't come loose. And we'll go around one more time and twist the ends. You usually go around 2 or 3 times is enough to keep that each little bundle in place. What you want is when you pick it up, you don't want the bundles to fall off, basically. So we'll go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wire on the rest of those bundles, and then I'll show you how to decorate the rest of the wreath. What I wanted to show you now is how I wire in this last one. What you want when you wire in the last bundle here, what you want to do is you want to tuck the ends of it underneath the first bundle that you put, and then the top of it is going to be covering the stems of the last bundle that you put there. So you kind of just tuck it up underneath there so that when you're done, you have a nice wreath. So I'm going to go ahead and just wire that in real quick, and then I will show you how to decorate it. A lovely wreath, and you could quit just like this. This is actually a lovely wreath. You could just put a bow on it and be done, but we're gonna go ahead and decorate it just a little bit more. What I like to do next is I like to kind of figure out where I'm gonna put things. I like to start with the oranges and kind of just, I've got about 5 of each, so I like to space them kind of evenly around the wreath. We'll see. Actually, I think we're gonna put this. Let's see. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where you want them. Start with that. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I can have 6, but I only need 5, so we'll put one over there. I like to use an odd number. Okay, so we kind of got our 5, and then I just fill in between, like maybe a pine cone in the middle, and a cinnamon stick, and a little bit of berries. I just kind of arrange it in that order: a pine cone, a cinnamon stick, some berries. Get that in there. And we're going to, of course, glue all of them. I'm going to hot glue all of those in, but I'm just arranging them here so you can see what it's going to look like. More attached good. We kind of have our design now, and it's just a matter of going ahead and getting everything attached. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I think we'll be done. So I think I'm going to probably just hot glue everything into the wreath. I'll see, and when I come back, I'll let you know. So there you have it, a lovely nature-inspired holiday wreath. So you probably saw what I did as far as attaching everything. The oranges we attached with hot glue. The cinnamon sticks we actually ended up wiring in. The pine cones we attached with hot glue. And the little berries we attached with, we actually wired in as well. I used a wire that was on the bottom of them and attached a little longer wire so that we could get them wired into our wreath. I don't think it even needs a bow. I guess you could put a bow on it if you wanted, but I think it's lovely just like this, and I'm gonna actually take it down and hang it on my front door for the holidays. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you will make yourself a nature-inspired wreath for this holiday season. And thank you for watching, clicking that like button, as well as subscribing. Also, don't forget to sign up for notifications so that you don't miss any of our creative videos, cooking videos, decorating videos, and neuroscience-inspired videos, as well as gardening videos. We have a lot of stuff on this channel just for you that we've created. So thank you for subscribing and helping us get a step closer to our goal of 10,000 subscribers. And if you go to my website, Grow with Dr. Jonette, you'll be able to see step-by-step instructions as well as close-up pictures of how to make this nature-inspired wreath.